distraction.
I think we are live.
Yay.
Almost.
Oh, I'm trying to see if I see us.
Okay.
Not yet, but
It
says we're live, so I'm assuming we are. If anybody can see us, let us know.
Yeah. Yes, I think we're live. Yay! We did it. So guys, I am so excited to bring to you a very special guest here on our weekly live cooking show, and that is the one and only Danielle Throckmorton. How's it going?
That's good. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. So what's really awesome is that Danielle and I think we actually met through like a women's entrepreneurship Facebook group.
Yes. I thought it was something Rise related, but it may not be. Who knows? We've connected for a higher reason.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't matter where, but it matters what we're doing now.
Yes.
And one of the things that we are so passionate about is healthy eating and healthy living. And I thought it would be amazing to bring Danielle on today because she's had an incredible journey when it comes to your whole transformation around how you think about food and how your body's changed, not just in like an aesthetic way, but in the way that you feel and all that good stuff. So do you want to share with everyone first who you are and what you do?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So the list of what I do can be kind of long, Renata. I guess I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. That's what you call it. I'm from Oklahoma. And one of my most favorite things to do is serve women through an online community that Renata is a part of, helping people with kind of mindset around their food, setting goals, learning how to be intentional, and really just kind of pursuing that next level version of themselves. And so we do that in a lot of different ways. And Renata has played a really big role inside of that group. And I've just loved getting to know her. And when it comes to my reasoning for connecting with Renata on a level about nutrients and feeding our bodies and eating to satiety and all of those things came from my own personal need for it. So I've had kind of a journey to say the least. I actually am vitamin deficient. I have ulcers, I still have them, but I've got everything manageable now and I'm eating well and I'm feeling good. But I got to a point physically where I had lost a significant amount of weight. I was very weak, very tired, drained, and I was just constantly ill. I just felt like my immune system was completely suppressed, a lot to do with deficiencies related to my gut. And I had grown up in a household with a single dad, and I didn't really have like the education around eating healthy or what that even meant, or I felt like if I had vegetables on my plate, I was doing well. And so I had to start on a journey of like self-education, and that was really hard. And then connecting with people like Renata, who had resources and tools and blogs and videos and things like educating you, really played an important role in that. And so I started learning like, what does my body need to make it feel full? What do I need to eliminate from my diet that's just really not serving me? And I kind of went on this journey, and I started investing more in food, proper healthy food. I would invest in reading. So like I have the book behind me, Body Love, different things to really educate myself, using free resources like authors that focus on nutrition, looking at their blogs, people like Renata who are serving you literally free tools out there. And so I went through this journey and I started implementing exercise, right? Because I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to start eating and getting healthy. But then I started being aware that I didn't have the energy to get through these workouts, right? I wasn't seeing a lot of improvement. I was really drained and tired. So I started mixing the two, which is what's neat with Renata doing fitness nutrition. It's because it's so important when you're moving your body to be fueling it with proper nutrients to avoid injury, but also to make progress. And when I started investing in a personal trainer, my nutrition products that I was using, and then the knowledge I needed to get the two together, I really saw my whole body transform. I put on about 15 to 20 pounds of muscle. I can get through difficult workouts. I can do weight training now. And now I have tools and education that I can bring to my girls in my group and encourage them to do the same. So Renata, I don't want to go too long, but there's a long story there, and my life has completely transformed. I just picked up groceries. They're sitting here drying, all my fruits and vegetables, and just imagining a few years ago what my shopping cart looked like to now, like I'll take a picture because it's so pretty.
Yes.
So I hope that helps kind of give you guys some insight on what I do.
Yeah.
Aside from helping coach people and running a group, I am an event planner. So I have 15-hour wedding days where I'm on my feet and I have to have hydration and nutrients. And so that kind of gives you guys an idea of what I do.
I love that. And especially I love seeing like all these healthy snacks behind you on the counter.
Right. I was like, that was kind of an accident. I literally went grocery shopping and then I was like, oh, it looks kind of pretty in there. We'll just not put them away yet.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I want to kind of point out too is that you told me that your nightly snack used to be not so good.
Okay, let's talk about phases of my nightly snacks. So for years, guys, I was ice cream every night before I went to bed. And I'm not just talking about like ice cream by itself or like this, Greek yogurty ice cream or frozen yogurt. Like I'm talking about Bluebell, cookies and cream with chocolate syrup. And I mean, I like those things sometimes, right? But it wasn't serving me in any way. Like, and I honestly, I swear, whenever I would crave it. It was just part of my routine to have it. So it was like if I didn't have it, I would leave and go to the store and get ice cream. Like it was almost like me justifying that I had a hard day, right? So I needed that snack. Then I phased into popcorn and movie theater hot tamales, like the box. Renata, I would eat a box.
The entire box.
The entire box with a bowl of popcorn every single night. Preston, my husband, would buy like the case of hot tamales for me at the store.
That's a good husband.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. He spoiled me, but I felt so bad. And then think about like eating that when you have ulcers and you have gut issues, and then you go and lay down in bed at night after just eating that. And so what we're making today, can I tell them like a little bit?
Yeah.
This has been so huge for me because I love to eat, guys. I love food. I love the taste of food, the look of food, the smell. Like I love eating. And so I had to find some way to implement a healthy snack into my routine that was easy to just take and go. Or like if I had a craving, I could take one, from the fridge and just feel like it kind of gave me something that was nourishing my body. It had protein. It was good for, I use local honey in what we're making today, and really help with allergies, all the things. Honey has so many benefits, especially for your gut with prebiotics, I think is what's in honey. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, this is going to be what I'm making today is like my go-to snack when I need something a little bit chocolatey and sweet.
And I love this too, because so what we're making today is Danielle's protein balls, which I love protein balls. They're my favorite. And I'm excited to try your recipe too. And this is such a great snack because just like you mentioned, you can grab it and go, take it with you when you're traveling, running errands. And then also too, you brought them with you when you recently were at the wedding that you
last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always struggled on wedding days to just get food in, right? You're on your feet. Things are moving very quickly. I get there at about 9. I don't get home till about midnight to 1 o'clock. So I can average, 10 to 12 miles a day of walking on my feet on concrete floors in a high stress setting, right? And so I set myself up for success this weekend. I was really intentional. I have my water. It has my tracker on it. I carry this. I don't know how many times people ask me like, what is that on the counter? Like, is that your water bottle? Yes. Where did you get it? But I set myself up with hydration. And then I also made sure that I had healthy snacks and I prepped a lunch of salmon, rice, and a little bit of vegetables. And I was set, making sure that I still got in those nutrients.
And you still felt like energized and you could tackle the entire day, right?
Yes, I did. And then I made sure too that I kind of assessed how I felt. Because usually after a day like that, I would literally feel like I had the flu. Like wedding planners, photographers in our industry, they will literally call it the post-wedding flu. It's draining. Like your Sundays are nothing. Like you're on the couch, you're drained. Like it takes a lot from you. And I did pretty good. I was tired. Like, let's not lie. It was a big day. But I felt not dehydrated. I slept well. I didn't have as much cramps too, which I think had a lot to do with my water intake.
Yeah.
But I also felt like proud of myself because I didn't just eat junk all day.
That's awesome. And so often when we're running around crazed and busy, we like reach for the junk food because we feel like we deserve it, like you said before, or we need like a quick burst of energy. And I love that you planned it out and you were able to stick to your healthy eating goals, which is so awesome.
Yes, it felt good.
Okay, so do you want to teach us how to make these protein balls?
I will.
Okay.
I've never cooked on camera before, you guys, so bear with me. Okay, so Renata's gonna make it with me at the same time.
I'm ready.
Yes, and I'm tall, so my bowl's down here. I'll just show you guys as I'm doing things. So we're gonna start. I do gluten-free oats. You can choose on which oats that you use, but I prefer gluten-free personally. But I do 1.5 cups of oats just straight in my bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and add those now. Also, I don't know, Renata, if this matters to you, but I've noticed the gluten-free oats are smaller.
Yes. Yeah.
I prefer that like in my protein balls. It's just easier to eat. It doesn't crumble as bad.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Now, one of my favorite things to do too is picking your nut butter. So like your healthy fat that you're going to include. And I did 1 cup of organic creamy peanut butter. You can use a nut butter, no sugar added, no salt added. You can kind of pick your nut butter of your choice, but Renata and I actually both ironically use the same one. So just add that in. If you're pulling it from the fridge too, Renata, like, because after you open the container, it asks you to refrigerate. I usually pop mine in the microwave for just a few minutes, and it softens it up. So when I make the balls, it's a little easier to blend. Perfect. Okay, my next is the honey. So Renata, do you want to hit on some of the benefits of honey? Because we talked about this the other day. I asked her about the honey because some people are like, oh, I heard honey's not like the best for me. But for me, I buy my local honey because of the allergens. It really helps with your local allergies, but also because of my gut. Plus, it's a sweet, natural sweetener. It's a natural way to add some of that sweet taste to it.
Yes, I completely agree. So I love local honey, and I'm using a local Texas honey here because obviously I'm in Texas. But I completely agree. I love the additional benefits from honey. In addition to helping with allergies, there's also a lot of antimicrobial and antibiotic applications with honey. And I was mentioning the other day too that in New Zealand, there's a very special type of honey called Manuka honey. So the bees go to the Manuka tree, and that's how they generate their honey. It's so powerful that they actually use it in medicine. So they use it to help wounds heal faster. So that's just incredible. And that's from something that can occur in nature. And I mean, like anything, you don't want to overdo it, right? Probably not gonna, eat the remaining amount of honey in here as a snack, but definitely in moderation. And I think that this is a really good amount for the protein balls, and it's going to add a lovely sweetness and a floral essence to it as well.
Okay, perfect. I just feel like that's for people to know, because I have been asked that question before, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, good point. But this is why I've been using it. But it's nice to hear it from Renata's point of view, because there are a lot more benefits to it than people realize. Okay, so my favorite part to add in, it was 1/4 cup of honey too. Okay, I don't think I specified that. So I'm going to add in my chocolate pea protein. It is incredible. It smells like brownie mix, you guys. It's like a treat for sure. I love how I can use my protein for so many different things. But I do 2 scoops, so just 1 serving in there.
And I'm actually using vanilla protein powder because I happened to run out yesterday of my chocolate, but I wanted to show a way that you can do this if you don't have chocolate protein powder. So I'm doing the same amount of pea protein in vanilla, and then I just have regular cocoa powder. You could use cacao powder, which is just a raw form, and you add in 1 tablespoon.
Yes, if you want the chocolatey taste too, because I know for my husband, chocolate is not his favorite. And then as an option too, I don't typically do this, Renata. Do you add chips usually to your protein balls?
Yes.
Okay, so I haven't been doing that lately, but it's definitely an option. So let me grab them. We'll just put them in for fun. I think it'll be kind of a little sweet, but I use dark chocolate chips in mine. I'm gonna grab this. I totally forgot, but I was like, oh, that's an option.
Yeah, so I use stevia sweetened chocolate chips. So that's just a way for me to try to reduce the amount of sugar that we're intaking. We already have some awesome sweetness from the honey. And so I love the thought of using a dark chocolate just because you get a little bit of that contrast in flavor. So you have the sweetness of the honey and a little bit of that like bite and bitterness, like a slight amount of bitterness from the dark chocolate chips.
Yeah. So I'm just sprinkling a few in there. I don't really have an exact measurement. I just kind of judge it based on whether or not I do it. Some people say 2 tablespoons is what I believe I put in my recipe if they want to add chocolate. But I think it's kind of a personal preference. I do mine hit or miss because Preston will eat, my husband, he will eat the protein balls if they don't have chocolate chips in them. He doesn't mind the chocolate protein powder necessarily, but he just is not a huge fan of the chocolate chips.
Gotcha. And now we mix?
Yes, we mix. Now, if it is a little bit dry, okay, because you're dealing with a lot of dry products here, I take a little bit of unsweetened nut milk. You can choose vanilla, original, whatever you'd like, and just add a little splash. Now, you want to be careful because if you add too much, they never really harden on the outside. They stay kind of sticky.
Gotcha.
So I usually add just a tiny bit in it because I feel like it mixes easier.
And if you didn't have nut milk, do you think water would work?
It will. Yeah, I have done it with water. But I have, like, my sister has called me before and she's like, Danielle, I just feel like they're a little dry. Like, what should I put in that? But it also depends on probably what type of peanut butter you're using. Because, like, for Renata and I, the creamy peanut butter is just a tad bit thicker, right, than your almond butter sometimes when it's fresh right out the jar. So.
And two, if you didn't use like a nut butter, you could also substitute it with tahini, which is a sesame seed butter. And that's usually really, really loose. So that's something else to consider too, depending on the type of ingredients you're using. It could be more dry or it could be more wet.
Tahini is so versatile too. I feel like I've used it so much lately. And I even use it when I make the hummus. I put a little bit in there with the chickpeas, I think, and then a little bit of lemon. But I have tahini in multiple recipes, especially in that Body Love book that I was learning to cook some of my recipes out of. It called for it several times. So it must just be a good way to implement. Is it considered a healthy fat?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very similar to nut butters in the way. What?
Did you say it's made from chickpea?
It's made from sesame seeds.
Sesame seeds, that's right. This is why Renata is the nourished with Renata.
Mine looks really good. What kind of consistency should we be looking for?
So I like, so I'll kind of show you what mine looks like. I kind of like mine almost kind of a little bit drier where it has like a Play-Doh. That's the best way to put it, where it's kind of not, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, as long as your powder isn't falling to the bottom and your oats are sticking to the mix.
Okay.
I always have to be really careful and make sure I mash up really good because sometimes if you don't, you have a big bite of peanut butter. So I always
not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's a good food. And our kids love it. My niece Ella, I took them to a cookout because I was still eating really good. I've been really focused on really just being, 80-20. 80% of the time I'm really trying to be super, super diligent, and then I treat myself, right? And as I took them with me as a snack when I went to a cookout, my brother's, knowing that I was going to eat the dinner, right? But just having some healthy choices. And she kept saying, no, it's my cookie.
Oh.
So she loves it. And she's 3. And she's like, I that's what I need in my life. Okay. So when you start to roll the balls, I literally just take almost like the shape of the middle of my palm. I just kind of scoop it up.
Okay.
And I just roll.
So probably more than a tablespoon?
Yeah, I'd say so. I haven't really measured it out necessarily. I just kind of keep mine as like the perfect little shape of the inside of my palm. And roll. Now, if you start to roll and your balls fall apart, you don't have enough moisture in there. So, okay.
Really good. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, it smells good too.
You can smell these things? I'm kidding.
What'd you say?
You can smell what I'm making?
Yeah. And then I had even said, like, I've thought about doing some of these, Renata, where you can like melt down a little bit of dark chocolate if you didn't put chips in them, and you could almost like dip them.
Yes,
I would do like cake balls, like that for the kids or whatever. That would be or you could do like a white. I don't know if white chocolate there's a leaner version of that, like a lower sugar version.
There is. It's more difficult to find a stevia sweetened version of white chocolate.
Okay.
You're not getting as many of like the antioxidant benefits as you would with like dark chocolate. But I've definitely done a similar kind of protein bowl, but with hazelnuts. So hazelnuts and chocolate, kind of like Nutella.
Yeah.
And then dipping it in some melted stevia sweetened chocolate, and it's the perfect dessert.
Yes. Like I've had people ask me like, will you bring some of those? Sure, I don't mind.
So if anyone's watching and they haven't yet started on their own healthy living journey, what would be one piece of guidance that you would want to share with them?
I would say have a plan. I think that's the hardest part is in community. Like that is what was so inspiring to me when I opened, my Facebook group that you're in, to be able to have women supporting each other, and not just, women are that group specific to women, but it just something happens when you're doing it together. Like when you have other people that are kind of in the same boat as you, they're experiencing the same things. So I'd say having a plan and then a community to support you through that journey. Having resources, right? Like we just talked about, I didn't know how to cook clean and healthy. I didn't know how to shop clean and healthy. And so then next thing I know, I just felt overwhelmed. My trainer gave me this list, Renata, when I first started training with him, and he was like, you're not being able to sustain through these workouts. You're going to end up hurt. Like you should have more energy than this. And he'd say like, what do you fueling your body with when we're done? And I'd be like, dinner? No. He's like, you need something immediately. You need these proteins, right? Healthy forms of proteins and fats and carbs and in your body to be able to get you through these. And so he gave me this list, and I remember standing at Walmart. I think I went to GNC, and I'm like, what are all these products? Like, what's all in these? What's the difference? Like glutamine, okay, there's like 4 or 5 different kinds. What do I need? And I just felt really overwhelmed. And I feel like for the average person that is really trying to get healthy and maybe is like me and doesn't have a lot of education, they quit too soon. It's too hard.
Yeah, it's hard to do it by yourself. It's hard to decipher what is the right information for you. And it's also so easy to like look at other people and think, well, she said she just had celery juice for 30 days and she lost 30 pounds or something like that.
But that's not sustainable, right? In the long term, you haven't really educated yourself, probably even why you're even doing that cleanse.
Right.
What's in my mind anyway. For me, I kind of had the issue of weight loss. So for me, it was more about getting the right proteins and nutrients in my body, right, to get my gut healthy so I could absorb the right nutrients. And to dive even a bit deeper for you guys, like I, even to this day, still have to have injections because I'm so deficient in vitamins. And since really focusing on my gut in particular, right, that it operates as a system, and your gut evolves or affects so much of your body. So when I really dove into what it means to have a healthy gut, I started noticing, and I told Renata, like, I have been able to notice a difference. I've been able to not have to stress as much about getting those right on time. So it's kind of made it, personally for me, getting my gut healthy is allowing me to absorb the nutrients from the healthy foods that I'm eating, which is maximizing everything, the way my body looks and feels.
That's amazing. I mean, I loved hearing that you could go longer between your injections. I think that speaks volumes to the power of the foods that we choose to put into our bodies.
Yep.
And like, I think we all go through a certain point where we realize that. Like for me, I've shared before, the issues that we had with my daughter and my husband and their gut issues. And then you're sharing your story now. And I think that's so important for people to hear because first of all, we have the ability to choose what we put into our bodies. And that's what's so amazing. And second of all, you can see the difference. You can feel the difference in your bodies when you're nourishing it in a really like effective and healthy way. And so I think too, like one of the major changes that you made is like investing in more of a like whole holistic nutrition line, correct?
That was important to me. Yeah. I just, like I said, I was standing in Walmart and GNC, and I was getting told I need all these things from one person, and not knowing what the ingredients were and not knowing what I was going to put in my body. And, being honest with you, like there's a lot of things sometimes in products that say they're going to improve endurance or different things that aren't necessarily good for my body. Not something I should keep doing long term. And with doing a juice or a cleanse or whatever like that, it's just, you're not really going to be able to sustain that in the long term. And I wanted something that taught me good, healthy eating habits that was sustainable. And that's where I started learning about nutrition line that I could implement that has everything, right? Has my healthy fats, my proteins, education, community support, and knowledge around my gut. Like it was so focused on my gut health. And I was like, why have I not like been presented this before? Having a pre and probiotic, how it has changed things for me. Also, you guys, I was an avid coffee drinker. And when I mean like, like I had 3 cups a minimum a day. Okay. And I have ulcers. So can you only imagine what I was doing to my tummy every morning when I got up and I had 2-3 cups of coffee a day? And it would be like 1 or 2 cups in the morning, Renata. Then I'd have client meetings, right? And where do most wedding planners meet you? At a coffee shop, right? Where do you meet your other vendors? Coffee shops. I love books. I go to a bookstore. I grab an iced coffee and I walk around the bookstore. And then I would come home at night after putting our 3 kids to bed, and I would have to work. So I'd grab me a cup of coffee at 10 o'clock at night, you guys. What do you like? No.
When you told me that, by the way, when you told me you had a coffee at like 10 o'clock at night, I was like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, I know. Like, can you imagine like how much better my sleep is? So one of the other things that was really neat was having a plan, right? Having a nutrition plan put in place, having everything ready for me, one that I invested in. That's what's really important too. Like when you invest in a trainer, you invest maybe in a course, you invest in a mastermind, anything. When you put an investment into something, how much more likely are you to show up and do it? Like big time. I'm not going to pay my trainer 2 weeks in advance and not show up to my training session. Not going to happen. I'm going to show up. And so it motivates me and keeps me focused. But also with my nutrition line, it's the same thing. Why would I go spend money and invest in a nutrition line and then go and order junk food?
Right.
It's right there in front of me. So me being set up for success is so much more likely because it's all right there. Good morning. Have your protein. Here is your pre and probiotic. Here's your fizz. So I have a drink that I'm able to that has natural forms of caffeine. It has like from Garnia, I never know if I say that one right, green tea extract. And it really helps me have this natural form of energy where I'm not jittery. It's not boosting any kind of anxiety or anything in me. And then instead of crashing, I'm able to maintain how I feel. And that's what I noticed big time at the wedding, Renata. Was on top of me having my water jug, I would have my fizz when I kind of felt like I needed that little mid-morning, mid-afternoon pickup before my bigger meals. And I felt so much better. I felt so much better. I was getting in my greens and my shakes because I had a plan. Hey, here's my condensed greens. I'm getting in my fruits and vegetables without eating a whole bunch of broccoli.
Unless you like broccoli, and then that's totally cool.
Right. And so that's kind of where it had led me to this journey to reach out to Renata for even diving deeper and bringing things to my community. And I fell in love. Like I have fallen in love with helping people and seeing what their results are, how excited that they are to have a game plan and have people rooting for them. Renata and I are able to be like, hey, so tell us your wins this week, like nutrition wise. And also, you know, how are you feeling in your mindset? Like, you know, when you wake up, you move your body and you're eating good, like your day just goes better. I'm going to rinse my hands so while you pick up from there for a second.
So that's one of the most amazing things. And, you know, obviously Danielle shared her story here, and she's experienced some amazing positive changes, and not only her habits, but in also her lifestyle and also her quality of life. And that's one of the most amazing things. And I think that's why you became so passionate about helping other people so that they could experience that as well.
Yes. So I reached out to Renata and I was like, hey, I really think I want to take this nutrition to the next level for my girls. Like I finally, you know, I'd been using it for a while. I had done some things outside of my community. Why? Because I wanted to believe in it, right? I wanted to know that it was really working. And then once I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing so good and people are feeling so great and it's helping them, I said, what am I doing? I've been serving these women for 2 years, right? They trust me. They're completely transforming their lives. Renata has seen the stories. It's crazy impactful how this community has been and how these women show up for each other. And I said, I want to take it to my girls. Like, and Renata, like you're a trusted person in this community. And so I brought it to her and I said, look at everything in detail. Like, tell me what you think. How can we make this even better and easier for people to have success and feel supported? So we did it together for 30 days of just really serving our community. And I asked Renata, I was like, we got to keep doing this. This is making such an impact. Like, please be my partner in this. And so I know you guys already love Renata because you're here, but I'm just really excited for what's to come.
Right. So what we did was a 30-day challenge. So we call it a 30 days to a healthier you.
Yeah.
And it's been incredible to see the changes that have happened with all of the women. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be revolving around the pounds lost or the inches lost.
Right.
But it's about all of them being like, I have so much more energy. Like I get home at the end of the day and I don't feel like I need to fall asleep on the couch. Or, you know, I just feel like I'm not sluggish anymore. And that's one of the most amazing things for me, is that when you can feel the difference, that's when you know you're making positive steps towards living a healthier life. So that's why Danielle's here today, because we wanted to share with you that we have another 30-day challenge coming up starting on July 6th. And so how can people find out more info about that?
Okay, so I will include a link for them to be able to get more information. I'm also going to go ahead and message everyone in the group. I'm just going to reach out and be like, hey, did you see Renata's live? I was on with her. Just because I feel like not everyone always sees everything, right? Life is busy. And so definitely check your inboxes through Messenger, because if we're not friends, right, sometimes it gets hidden in there. Or feel free to reach out to me personally, because you'll be seeing me comment. But what we're doing is a really exciting 30-day group starting on July 6th. Renata and I have already done this together and have perfected something really amazing for you. So I'm talking about recipes, meal plans, support, education, right? Because that's something I was lacking. Education on why you're doing what you're doing, what foods fuel your body, what are healthy fats, what are non-starchy carbs that are going to fuel me. Moving our body, having like a little special guest come in and speak to you guys. I can't tell you everything, but we want to help you guys really formulate habits that are sustainable and take what Renata's already been implementing to you guys even in more detail. And so I will be reaching out by Messenger, and I will include a link to, if you want to go ahead and fill out. Is it okay to go ahead and put the little landing page on there?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll do that for you guys, and then we'll just connect hopefully this within the next few days. And if it's something you guys really are wanting to be a part of, I want to go over nutrition with you and talk about this in more depth. And then even after the 30 days, Renata and I will have something special for you guys that is way far beyond just 30 days.
Yeah.
So we can save that for later.
Yeah. Okay. I love this. And definitely, guys, if you've been wanting to eat healthier and you're kind of feeling that pressure perhaps of the summer coming up, and you feel like you could be in a better place, like in the way that you think about your body or in the way that you kind of appreciate yourself, I think this is the perfect opportunity. Like I know oftentimes people are like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And later is not a time. The time is now. So I really encourage you guys, if you're interested to join us for this 30-day challenge, please drop something in the comments below, and Danielle will get in contact with you, or I will get in contact with you. And we got to show everyone the protein balls before we go.
Yeah. I already stacked mine kind of pretty.
Oh, nice.
That's how I was putting it. So I put it on a cute little platter. But yeah, so I think I probably got just over a dozen. I'd say I probably got 15, maybe.
Oh, nice. Okay, I got 12 exactly, but I tried to make it 12.
I might be just a little bit, but you know, you do this for a living, like making things look all pretty.
It looks so good.
Thanks, guys. I'm seriously so excited. Please don't hesitate to even reach out to Renata. Like if you are really connected with her and you already know a lot of details, definitely let me know. And on top of this, like your girl Renata has done this with you. Like she's already experienced what we're doing together, and as you know, so have I. So we're real excited, and thanks for spending time with us today. And Renata, I'm so thankful to have you invite me in here.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here and sharing your awesome recipe. Well, I'll post, or if you have like a recipe card, we can post that with like all of the ingredients and everything. Actually, you do. I forgot about that. But that would be great.
I have like one that I made on the story that just has the ingredients, so we can post that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, guys, make sure you comment below, and thank you again so much, Danielle. I cannot wait for the next round of the 30 days to a healthier you.
Oh gosh, me too. Thanks, Renata.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.